How old was he, Zoe, and what did he do for a living?
So he previously worked for the U.S. Senate, and he did like Congress work, and he was in law school like around this area.
Hmm.
And
And his age?
he was 24.
Okay. So very successful for 24.
Yeah.
I agree, and I feel like he had a really good head on his shoulders. You know, he's kind of had like the things I was looking for in a man.
When she thinks she's irreplaceable from Rich Cooper clips. If you can't tell, I've been enjoying his clips.
This past year, and it did not go very well for me. But I just feel like with what you were saying, I really don't find many options for me right now, like where I
Hmm.
live, and it does get smaller and smaller. And I feel like the standards definitely trims down your options a lot.
What happened with the guy that you dated that didn't go so well?
Um, Actually, believe it or not, I met him on a dating website called Hinge. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. It was very okay. So
Yeah, I'm very familiar.
not even from here. We dated for like a couple months, you know, talking here and there. And we were going out a couple times. And once I started nursing back up, I was like, because this is during the summer. This is when I was dating him during the summer when I wasn't in school and I had that time off and I was just working full time in the ER. I said, you know, like when I start school again, like I want to cut things off. But in this time frame of when we were hanging out, like I really actually like this man, and that has not happened for me. And I could not tell you how.
Okay, so real quick, she matched with this guy on Hinge. She's saying she really likes this guy. So let's think about it. If she were to even consider swiping right or whatever on him, this guy is probably one of those small percentage men, again, that's getting most of the matches. So keep that in mind. I don't know if you've seen this before or not, but just keep that in mind.
How long? It was forever.
Hmm.
And
How old was he, Zoe, and what did he do for a living?
so he previously worked for the U.S. Senate, and he did like Congress work, and he was in law school like around this area.
Hmm.
And
And his age?
he was 24.
Okay. So very successful for 24.
Yeah.
I agree, and I feel like he had a really good head on his shoulders. You know, he's kind of had like the things I was looking for in a man. He was extremely sweet, and I think we just got along so well. Like we clicked initially, and I've never even gone on a Hinge date before, or you know, let alone gone out with a man recently. So I was
Okay, not to interrupt so soon, but I mean, this is classic hypergamy. This is a woman dating so far up. This guy was working in the Senate. He went to law school. He's 24. This guy's killing it. This guy's crushing it. He's 24. And she's going to say later on, but yes, he was extremely attractive. And something that's kind of been, it doesn't rub me the wrong way, but it evokes some curiosity within me where I'm like, these women, you can't possibly think he's going to be super loyal. And that's going to offend some people. But what makes you so special? I mean, you know, what makes this woman so special to where she thinks that at 24 years old, he's already been, you know, working in the Senate. It's a weird thing to say you work in the Senate, and I don't know, she said he's a lawyer, he's going to law school, whatever. I mean, what makes this woman think she is so special that she's going to be able to lock this guy down? And, you know, she's not unattractive. She's not unattractive, but she's average, I would say. She's an average-looking woman. Most women are pretty average. You know, the difference between men and women is that it's pretty easy to look attractive as a woman, actually. The thing that they are is kind of inherently attractive, specifically to men. So, in my opinion, this is an average woman. And I'm not trying to shit on her or anything, but this is classic hypergamy. And I kind of understand where like Myron is coming from on Fresh and Fit a lot of times, because he gets kind of fired up over. He's like, why do you think that this guy is going to be monogamous to you, who's this like small percentage guy, but you're just an average woman, right? What makes you think this guy's going to be monogamous? It's like sheer delusion. And so these women need to understand, and I don't know if I said it in the last video, but Sycax, he said the men that women want are the least likely to give them the things they want. And so it's just, these women need to realize if they are so obsessed with monogamy, then they need to stop going after these 24-year-olds who have already been able to work in the Senate, they go to law school. I mean, that's a young age to be doing such great things. This is and he's super handsome, she's going to say, this is delusion to think you can just sweep this guy up and lock him down.
I was like, wow, like this is, that was pretty good. Like, I'm going to reach out to him again and see like if we could, talk again and see where both our heads are at. And he's like, I have family coming in town. I would love for you to come down and meet them. I'm like, that's wonderful. In that week, we actually ran into each other at a bar. And this was like a couple months after like we ended kind of things. And he pretended like,
Zoe, you were telling us an interesting story before you cut out there. Just kind of peeking.
okay, so like what was like the last thing that you heard?
You saw him at the bar.
We ran into him at the bar.
Okay, so that same week that he like was texting me all week, like wanting to meet up, we ran into him at the bar. Like this was around Halloween time. And he was with like his friends from like law school. And he acted like he had no idea who I was. And I think he got caught with another girl, like he was with another girl. And I think he was dating another girl. So that was the end of that story. And
Of course he is. They all want him. You're not special in your preferences. All women typically want the same types of dude. But she just said they had ended things. So she saw him 2 weeks after they ended things. I don't get it. You're not entitled to this dude because you matched on Hinge.
And 5 days later, I got blocked on everything. That same weekend, he wanted me to meet some of his family coming in town. So that was like
You ended things though.
I
I'm
had no
confused.
idea like what happened. Like I did not do anything wrong. I said hello to him, gave him a hug. It was a very short interaction, and I got like the most oh my gosh look that I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so bad. I get home that same night and he tries to Snapchat me, and I'm like, why would I want to talk to somebody that completely ignored me at a bar, like didn't even want to catch up. We haven't talked for months since like the previous time we were going out during the summer. And I left it on open. 5 days later, I get blocked on everything. So that
W. If you're not gonna reply, what use are you to this guy?
was the end of that story, and I have not dated anyone
That
since.
would be
So was there a
brash.
gal there with him that night?
Yes, I mean, but I didn't think anything of it,
Mhm.
truthfully. Like, I was just like, like, why would he be reaching out to me, making plans to me that same weekend,
Mm.
But yeah,
What do you think of
that's
that?
how
Like,
that went.
what do you think of a guy that's at that level, that's in law school, deals with Congress, politicians, sort of stuff? I'm assuming he's a good-looking guy.
Very. And that,
Yeah.
like, that was another hard thing that I can't really find anyone that I'm attracted to. And he was, like, one of the first guys that I was generally attracted to.
Okay,
And
so
it's like that's,
so he's ticking off a lot of boxes for you. So I'm
Mhm.
sure you understand there's going to be more than just Zoe competing for his attention, right? Because he's a
Oh,
high-value
1000%.
guy. So
Yeah.
what's the issue with pursuing a guy like that if you dig his vibe to that level, like he's the only guy that you found that attractive in the span of time that you've been dating, right? So what if he's seeing another gal? Like, they're not exclusive, right? Like, he's talking about it, inviting you to see his family.
Exactly. I knew in the back of my head, I was like, there's no way that, I met him and I, was like, wow, like this guy's great. That other woman we're not thinking the same exact
Yeah.
thing.
So
I had that in
so
the back
he
of my head.
messaged you that night on Snapchat and you didn't read it, you didn't acknowledge it, nothing?
Yeah. Like we were texting that day,
Right.
the day that we, ran into
So why would he
each other.
message
I
you
had
on
no idea.
Snapchat instead of texting you then?
Exactly.
do.
Weird.
Yeah. Didn't
What
like
is
call
the-
me, no
They
nothing.
don't do text anymore. They just only Snapchat. These young people.
But
Yeah,
I-
you're gonna
I
have to
haven't
forgive
really
me maybe for
Snapchatted
being a little
ever.
bit thick and disconnected
Yeah,
from Snapchat.
they don't even
because I
The,
don't use
the
that app.
appeal
So-
is, Rich, the appeal is that the messages disappear.
okay,
upon
so it's
opening.
like
So
it's like setting signal messages to disappear after 5 minutes or something.
And honestly, that's really smart because a lot of times women will screenshot your shit and then out you on social media if you do something they don't like. So it's actually very smart to talk to these girls on Snapchat.
Pretty much. Or they disappear as soon as they're opened unless you screenshot it or something like that.
Got it.
You
Got
can
it.
see if they screenshot it, so then they can be like, "Why are you
Yeah.
screenshotting?"
And keep in
So-
mind, like we never really Snapchatted before. Like this was like
Okay.
out of the blue, like just Snapchatting me and like letting me know that he got home. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, it sounds like he did something a little bit goofy on his end, but I still kind of want to press you on this question a little bit more. So, high value guy, you find him attractive. You don't find that in other guys you're dealing with. He's dealing with other women, obviously. So now you know this. You know, he's in demand. He sends you a message. You dig his vibe, but you ignore it, and then you get blocked several days later. Are you
Yes.
surprised?
Ignored it.
I was kind of shocked because I ignored it. Okay,
Yeah.
but I kind of was thinking inside my head, like, what did I do wrong? Like, what made me get blocked? Because I've never been blocked by a man before. Like, this is all
The
new
only
to
thing
me.
that you did wrong was that you didn't respond to him.
This guy's a G. She's like, I've never been blocked by a man before. This guy is not playing games. He's like, oh, you're going to leave me on scene? I'm just going to block you. Goodbye. That's the thing. It seems like this, man, women got no game sometimes. What did you think? You left the dude on red. You don't have leverage here. This is a guy you want. Make it known. Make it known you want this guy if you're super into him. This isn't... Men don't respond as well to the whole playing hard to get shit as women do. It's not necessary. We like to see interest, right? Because a lot of times we're qualifying women. We like interest from a woman, especially since it's so rare nowadays for a woman to like overtly try to please you. It's so nice, and that's what a lot of guys are looking for women. Whereas, women are constantly disqualifying men based off of little things and their availability and being needy and all of these things. So, and women love to feel like they got that high value, high quality man that wasn't easy. So, this is what I've noticed in the past too, is like women think playing hard to get is a good strategy for them, but it's not. They would be better pursuing the guy and adding value to his life, becoming an asset,
Right?
And
Because
say like, what was up about tonight? But like, that's not my place to be like. And I didn't.
No,
want
but
to-
you know what the message was? Like, were you able to
Could
read it in
reply.
advance, or you can only read it if you open it?
It was a picture of him sitting in bed at 2:30 in the morning.
Did it have a caption or something, or
Nope, just blank.
just a picture of him laying in bed?
Yep, that's it.
So 24-year-old guy is a little bit
invitation.
immature. Just a picture of
Nice.
him laying in bed.
Yep, that's it.
So 24-year-old guy is a little bit
invitation.
immature and goofy. It's an invitation more than anything. But it's like, see,
that I don't think that is immature and goofy. Honestly, in my opinion, the fact that he put no caption, great. It would have been worse if he put a caption. Obviously, this drove her crazy. She's on Rich Cooper's show talking about it. She can't get this guy out of her mind. He just sent her a picture at 2 a.m., no caption, sitting in his bed. He's like, that's all I'm giving you. And she loves it. She's going to act like she doesn't, but she's here on this show talking about this guy. He drove her crazy. This guy has game, knows exactly what he's doing, and her hamster's running. Her hamster's on the wheel. She's trying to figure out what went wrong. Oh, this guy was so attractive. He's so successful. My hypergamy is going through the roof. And she's on this show talking about the guy. He did everything right.
for
He's alone.
the gals watching and for you, Zoe, like the amount of guys that are going to tick off all these boxes for you gals that you have a strong attraction for, that you have a lust for, even they're rare, and a lot of women compete for them. And the thing is that high value successful guys like that are not common on the sexual marketplace. Beautiful women are everywhere, right? I mean, if you go to Instagram and you do a search on hashtag fitness girl, millions of results will pop up objectively with 9s and 10s, some of them 11s, in some cases,
Absolutely.
like really hot women. So
And also, real quick, she does seem nice. I will say that. Kind of picking her apart here, but she seems nice enough. She doesn't seem super entitled and brash. I don't see any tattoos. She's pretty soft-spoken. She seems like a nice lady. She's getting gamed by this dude.
there's loads and loads of really hot women out there, but the kind of guy that you're looking for that really draws you in and captivates your heart is pretty rare. So I would encourage you in the future, if you find a guy like that, not to take it easy on him and to, just not follow through on something, because like women will be competing for his attention. Like there's no
And
question about that.
I really didn't think twice about it, honestly. And
Yeah,
I,
like it
So
would,
remind me why you guys stopped seeing each other, like why you wanted to end things. You're like going back to school or
I
something
was
like that,
just
or
I
what
was
was
just
it?
going back to school, and I really don't like talking to people like when I'm in school. But then like when I was alone for a couple weeks, I was like, wait, I generally enjoyed his company. Like, this was different than I'm used to.
All right, what's a lesson we can take from this? Again, he had to remove his attention. Once his attention was gone, she wanted it back. So do with that information what you will.
And I was like, wait, did I just screw up? Like, did I mess up? Like, not continuing to pursue him? Like,
A little bit.
Yeah, you did. You completely screwed up.
A little bit, yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
But the blocking is so immature that he just lost a lot of points with that.
It's not immature, lady. It's not immature at all. He's a G. She left him on red. See you later. You don't just get free attention. That was your chance. This guy's obviously crushing it in his life. What makes you think you have any leverage here? All of you women want this guy. It's not immature to block this young lady here. I would have done the same.
Yeah, but if he's got lots of
Probably got another
options,
girl.
Yep.
He's got so many options. Are you kidding me? He lives in Naples.
if he's got lots of options and a girl blocks him, you're just gonna be like, whatever. I'll just go.
See
to
you
the next
later.
one.
He doesn't need to block her. That's just
I've never been blocked before, so like that was new.
No, it's like it's
It drove her crazy, man.
Have you ever dated a guy of that caliber?
No.
There you go.
I mean, I previously talked to someone that worked for American Airlines, but
Mhm.
I wasn't really attracted to him as much.
Yeah.
He was a pilot, but I just didn't have that attraction. But this man,
So real quick, right? She dated a pilot. He probably, most definitely makes more money than her. He has status, and yet he still wasn't able to draw out that genuine desire. I guarantee he was too available. He was simping, and she's like, "What's going on here? You're a pilot. You make more than me, and you're still simping for me? I don't like this." And then you get this other dude who's like, "Oh, you didn't reply to me? I'm gonna block you. See ya." Like, and she's crazy. She's crazy about this guy. You can tell. She knows she messed up, and even that dude who she matched with, he was a pilot, worked for American Airlines. The genuine desire wasn't there. So this is what I'm saying. Just because you make more money than her doesn't mean genuine desire will be there. And I go over this inside of the thing I'm putting together for you guys, Genuine Desire Academy. So yeah, click the link in the description if you want to get on the waiting list for that.
had the same exact, really good career, but he was attractive. So like that was like
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, like, you're gonna have to, the thing is that women have been told this story over and over again. Know your worth, girl. Don't put up with this, that, and the other thing. I see this on social media all the time, like women telling other women, if he takes you on these places for dates, and you have to disqualify him. If he does this, disqualify him. If he has an Android, disqualify him. It's like they routinely try to find ways for women to convince other women to be miserable and single by disqualifying men for reasons that are just simple, like, oh, he sent me, or he did acknowledge me enough at the bar when he was out there with his friends and probably another gal, which is reasonable, right? Because he's out there with them and her probably. But a little bit of a chase from you, Zoe, might have got his attention on it, right?
And originally that's how we started. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to him. He, oh sorry, I can't like hang out this weekend. He'd have to wait a couple weeks, or it's just stuff like that. And I didn't think twice about it because I was still like doing my own thing during the summer, hanging out with my friends. So it wasn't like a constant like.
She just misinterpreted what he said. He said a little bit of chase from you would have helped. She thinks he meant to get him to chase you. And this is what a lot of women do. Because they respond to it, they think it's good to do to men. Because they love the chase, because they love a guy who in the beginning is a bit unavailable, they think that's a good strat for them. So she just kind of misinterpreted what Rich said. He said a little bit of chase from you, as in chase the guy. Make effort, put in effort.
I'm available to him. And I think initially that's what attracted him to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was constantly working, and during school that obviously changed. And I was like, I would do anything to hang out with this man now.
Mm-hmm.
She would do anything to hang out with that guy now. And look, she was nice. She seemed like a nice girl, nicer than most of the girls I come across on this channel. But yeah, if you're still out there in the dating world, notice what she was talking about. Notice what he did that drove her crazy. Even blocking her. She's like, I've never been blocked. and she can't stop thinking about him. The last thing she just said there was, I would do anything to hang out with this guy now. But, you know, she was talking about in the past tense when she was at school, but because his attention was removed abruptly, she's like, oh, wait, now I want it. Now I want his attention. He makes more money than me. He's got status in a way. He's attractive, and he's distant. His attention is gone. I want him more now. So, and yeah, she seemed pretty open, actually. She was pretty open to what Rich was saying, and I can definitely appreciate that because that's different than a lot of the women I come across when I review videos. So she just doesn't have game. A lot of these women, when they come across a guy that they want, they think being distant is a good idea when it's really not for women. The strategy is, yeah, you should chase the guy, add value, become an asset. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.